has crashed into the World Trade Center in New York. That happened within the last few moments. No details at this stage as to what sort of plane it is.
What came down, though? What came down? The crash. The other trade center's down. It's down. It's down.
Is as close as we can get to the base of the World Trade Center. You can see the firemen assembled here, the police officers, FBI agents, and you can see the two towers.
Paramedic equipment and move it. What do we got going on? There's an aircraft coming. Let's go. Move.
September 11th, 2001. One Tuesday morning, 102 minutes, and the whole world changed forever. Nearly 3,000 people died. 2 wars started, your privacy disappeared, airport security became a nightmare, an entire generation grew up afraid. But what if none of that happened? What if September 11th was just another boring Tuesday? Would those towers still be standing? Would millions of people still be alive? And would you actually have to show up at the airport 3 hours early? Let's find out. Okay, so in this alternate timeline, people wake up on September 11th, 2001, and it's just normal. Nothing happens. The attacks that were supposed to happen? They don't. Maybe the FBI caught the guys. Maybe the plan fell apart. Doesn't matter. What matters is this. The Twin Towers are still there. Everyone who died that day is still alive. They go to work. They come home. Life goes on. You wake up on September 12th and turn on the news. It's just regular stuff. Bush is talking about the economy. People are complaining about gas prices. Normal news. Boring news. No towers collapsing. No smoke. No horror. Just another day. And that's where everything starts to split. Because every choice we made after September 11th, every law we passed, every war we fought, every freedom we gave up, none of that happens. Your whole life is about to be completely different. And you don't even know it yet. Let's talk about something you deal with all the time. Flying. Remember, in our world, the TSA was created 2 months after 9/11. Suddenly, flying became hell. Take off your shoes, no liquids, show up 2 hours early, get treated like a criminal every single time. But in this timeline, none of that exists. You show up 30 minutes before your flight. That's it. You walk through a metal detector, same as before, but you keep your shoes on. You bring whatever drinks you want. Your whole family walks with you all the way to the gate. Your mum hugs you goodbye right there at the gate. She waves as you board the plane. You can see her through the window. When's the last time that happened to you? Never, right? Because you've never lived in a world where that's possible. Here's something crazy. The TSA's budget is $8 billion every year. $8 billion on airport security that mostly just annoys people. In the alternate timeline, that money goes somewhere else. Maybe schools, maybe roads, maybe just lower taxes. And think about this. Every time you fly, you waste an extra 30 minutes dealing with security. Now multiply that by every passenger, every flight, over 20 years. We're talking about centuries of human life wasted standing in line. In the other timeline, you get all that time back. You get to your gate faster, you're less stressed, and flying is actually kind of fun again. But that's just the beginning of what's different. Okay, here's where things get really different. And kind of scary. In our world, 45 days after 9/11, Congress passed something called the Patriot Act. It was 357 pages long. Most of them didn't even read it, but they all voted yes anyway, because terrorism. And suddenly, the government could watch everything you do. Your phone calls, your emails, your internet history, all of it, without a warrant, without telling you, just watching. Then in 2013, this guy Edward Snowden told everyone the truth. The NSA wasn't just watching terrorists, they were watching everybody. Your texts, your photos, your searches, everything. You never agreed to any of this, it just happened. In the world where 9/11 never happened, the Patriot Act never passes, the government doesn't build this huge spy machine. Your privacy, it's still yours. Your emails are private. Your phone calls are private. What you search for online stays between you and Google. Facebook still comes out in 2004, Twitter in 2006, but they grow up in a different world. A world where the government isn't constantly asking for everyone's data. Maybe Zuckerberg pushes back more. Maybe encryption becomes normal faster. Your iPhone is different too. Remember when Apple and the FBI had that huge fight about unlocking a shooter's phone? That whole thing happened because of terrorism fears. In this timeline, that fight might never happen. Your phone might be more secure, or maybe less. Who knows? What we do know is this. In the alternate timeline, you live in a way less paranoid world. Privacy isn't suspicious, it's just normal. But you know what else is normal in that world? A whole lot of people being alive. Let me hit you with some numbers. And I'm sorry because these numbers are brutal.
The United States military has begun strikes against al-Qaeda terrorist training camps and military installations of the Taliban regime in Afghanistan.
October 2001. America invades Afghanistan. March 2003. America invades Iraq. And then people start dying. A lot of people. 7,000 American soldiers dead. But that's just the start. 46,000 Afghan civilians. 300,000 Iraqi civilians. Add in Pakistan, Syria, Yemen, and other places. Over 900,000 people dead because of the wars that followed 9/11. In the alternate timeline, most of them are still alive. That shopkeeper in Kabul who died in 2008, still alive, still running his shop. His grandkids visit him every week. That mother in Iraq who died in 2005, caught in crossfire, still alive. Her kids are grown now. She's got grandkids too. That American kid from Ohio who joined the army after 9/11 and died in Iraq. He's 43 now, married, coaching his son's baseball team. They're all alive, living normal lives, because the wars never happened. But hold on, let's be real here. It's not all sunshine and rainbows in the alternate timeline. Afghanistan never gets invaded, which means the Taliban stays in power. Women still can't go to school. People who speak out get killed. It's brutal. Iraq? Saddam Hussein stays in charge. His regime keeps doing what it was doing, torturing dissidents, oppressing Kurds. It's not good. So here's the thing. Fewer Americans die in wars. Way fewer Middle Eastern civilians die in wars. But a lot of people still suffer under dictators. Is that better? Is that worse? I don't know. Nobody does. It's just different. Oh, and ISIS probably never happens. ISIS grew out of the chaos of the Iraq War. No war, no ISIS. Which means the Syrian refugee crisis might not happen either. Millions of people who had to flee their homes, they might still be home. But would some other terrorist group take ISIS's place? Maybe. History doesn't just stop because America decides to stay home. Now let's talk about you. If you were born in the 90s or 2000s, you're what I call a post-9/11 kid. You don't remember a time before all this, before the war on terror, before see something, say something, before constant fear. You grew up doing active shooter drills in school. You learned to be afraid, to suspect people. That's just normal to you. In the other timeline, your childhood is different. You're less scared, less suspicious. You grow up in a world that feels safer, even if it isn't actually that much safer. And your politics? Totally different. Bush probably loses in 2004. Without the war on terror boosting his approval, John Kerry wins. That changes everything about the 2000s. Obama still runs in 2008 probably, but his whole campaign is different. He's not the anti-war candidate anymore because there's no Iraq war to be anti. Maybe he doesn't win, maybe someone else does. And Trump, his 2016 campaign was all about fear, the Muslim ban, build the wall, strength and security. Without 9/11, does any of that work? Does he even run? The whole political map of America looks completely different. Even the movies you watch are different. No Zero Dark 30, no Hurt Locker, no Homeland. Call of Duty focuses on different stuff. The entire action genre goes in another direction. The music you listen to, the news you watch, the memes you share, all of it shaped by a world that's just less afraid. You're still you, but you're a version of you that grew up in a calmer world. How would that change you? Would you be happier, more trusting, less cynical? Hard to say, but you'd definitely be different. Okay, so I've been painting a pretty nice picture of the alternate timeline. More freedom, less war, people are alive. Sounds great, right? But here's the thing nobody wants to talk about. Would it actually be better, or would it just be different bad instead of our bad? Because here's the deal. In that timeline, Al-Qaeda still exists. Osama bin Laden is still out there, planning stuff. The 9/11 attacks failed, but they don't just give up. Maybe they try something else. Maybe something worse. A biological attack, a dirty bomb, something that makes 9/11 look small. And all that security we complain about, the TSA, the surveillance, the privacy invasion, maybe it actually stopped attacks we never heard about. We'll never know. That's the paradox. The attacks that don't happen don't make the news. So in the alternate timeline, maybe you have more freedom, but you're actually in more danger. Or maybe the lack of war in the Middle East creates different problems we can't predict. There's no good answer here. History doesn't come with a control group. We can't run the experiment twice and see which version is better. All we know is this. September 11th, 2001 was a fork in the road. Everything after that day, everything about the world you live in, traces back to those 102 minutes. Thousands, then hundreds of thousands, then millions of lives were changed or ended. On September 10th, 2001, people went to bed in one world. On September 11th, they woke up in another. In one timeline, the one we live in, the towers fell. Wars started, privacy died, thousands, then hundreds of thousands, then millions of lives were changed or ended. In another timeline, none of that happened. The towers still stand. Your mum still walks you to the gate at the airport. You live in a world that's less afraid, but is it better? We'll never know. All we know is it's different. Massively, fundamentally, completely different. One day, one event, and the entire 21st century split into two different paths. We're living in one of them. And 24 years later, we're still dealing with what happened that Tuesday morning. Makes you think about how fragile everything really is, doesn't it? What would your life be like in that other timeline? Let me know in the comments. And if you want more alternate history scenarios, we've got plenty more. But that's a story for another What If